What's up, everyone?
And welcome to the Way of Szostak podcast. We're here with the host Wei and myself, Ernest. We're both high school seniors in Spain. And so, Wei, why don't you talk a bit about yourself?
Okay, well, I've been in Spain already for 10 years, and I'm about to finish my last year in college, in high school, so I'll go to university next year. And well, I'm Chinese, and let's tell me about yourself a bit.
Well, I'm Polish. I've been pretty much all my life in Mexico for about 14 years. Then I moved to the US all by myself for 2 years. And then I came here. It's my first year.
Interesting. You've traveled a lot of places, it seems like. So, how do you feel about Spain? Like, what's your experience right now?
Oh man, that's great. I've been here about 3 months, and yeah, it's been great. Like ever since the first day I came, the people are so nice, and I just feel great. I've already made friends, and studying is hard, but overall, it's been a great experience.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you all guys for listening to this podcast. Wei&Ernest, why don't we start explaining what is our podcast gonna be about?
Yeah, well, we can talk about the ideas we're trying to go through over the podcast, which are like gaming, technology, news, politics, sports, movies, and more things about. I don't know. I'm very interested about psychology. I plan on talking about that.
So, if you're
And
interested in psychology, maybe we can talk about mental health or how we can maintain a good mental health during high school because we got through a lot of stress. So, some bit
yeah,
of help can help many people, or even people at work they go through a lot of stress. So maybe we can give them some tips on how to improve their daily life, right? So, well, I think today actually we can talk about something about technology actually because you might know that recently they released the new AirPods Pro by Apple. Have you heard about them?
yeah, yeah. Honestly, I haven't been very interesting about them because I mean I have my own, the first version of them, and it's like the second pair I own because I lost the first one. But I mean I'm satisfied. I always use them. I think they're great. I don't think I need an improvement from that. What about you?
I mean, you said you lost your first pair of AirPods, so like I'll actually tell you something. My AirPods right now, that they were my first pair. I've never lost them. I've dropped them so many times, but I never lost them. And by now today, they're still working. I mean, not perfectly, but I mean, they there's an issue that I'm gonna talk about later on when we talk about the AirPods. But actually, I like them, how they sound, and how easy they are to carry around, and the connectivity and stuff. And before, actually, I had it using with the iPhone 10, but right now I'm using it with a Samsung because I changed the phone. So I kept using the AirPods, yeah, with the Samsung. It works well. It doesn't have all the functions that it has with the iPhone, but I think it's still a great pair of AirPods. I haven't tried the AirPods Pro yet. I've seen some reviews, and well, I mean, people say that the AirPods Pro are pretty expensive because Apple likes to set the products really high price. So, what do you think about the price that they always set for their products?
I mean, I think it's Apple. We all know that Apple always gets some overpriced products. But I mean, at the end of the day, like everyone's gonna buy them. Like that's for sure. No matter the price, like there's always some people that want the new exclusive product, even if it doesn't have many changes at all. And yeah, I mean, if the I think what's the best thing that they added is the noise cancellation thing, and I'm pretty interested in that. I would like to see like any reviews on it because to be like earphones and not like headphones that surround your ears. I'm really interested in knowing like how that technology works, how it's supposed to cancel the noise around you if it doesn't even cover your ear, you know?
Yeah, I think that's Apple's main selling point with this, or because of the noise cancellation. Because right now in the market, where they've got a lot of competitions like Sony, where they sell their noise cancellation earbuds for around 250 actually, only 250 euros, where Apple sells them for 280. So I think people might consider when buying this, they might consider the price point, but also at the same time how it works. You know, the Apple ecosystem, how easy it is to connect with the iPhone. When you open the case, it just pops up,
Yeah.
and you just put it into your ear, and it works perfectly. And you've got to play, pause, skip the song backwards, and all that stuff. And I found that actually interesting because Apple have created a ecosystem, and that ecosystem makes the people want to buy the products, because it makes their life much easier. So what's your opinion about, like, I mean, you use iPhone, you use AirPods, does that make your life a bit easier?
I mean, yeah, that's honestly great. Like, the first day I got some, like, the basic first AirPods, I was really surprised. I didn't even, like, have any, like, heard any reviews about it. I just bought it, and out of the box, like, you can just pull out the AirPods and it automatically detects them on your iPhone, which is very surprising and very convenient. It was the easy setup, and yeah, it's just great. I'm actually curious. Like, since you're using them on a Samsung, how does that even work? Like, do you lose out on any, like, compatibility
I mean,
issues or anything?
at the start I didn't knew, but I tried to connect them. It was so difficult, but I got it. So how it works sort of is a bit weird. So once you open the case, all right, when you open the case, it actually connects it. So it will connect, and you can put it into your ear. But if you take it out of one ear, it won't pause. The music won't pause. But if you double tap or triple tap, you will skip or go back with the song, which is good actually. Or you can get a code with the double tap as well. And also, I think what makes it difficult to use is once you put it back into the case, it won't disconnect. It takes like maybe 30 seconds for it to disconnect. So every time you get the AirPod and you want to open the case just to make that sound, which is so satisfying that everyone does. That happens. That's bad thing about it because if you do that and you have a connect to a Samsung, every time you open it, you will connect to the phone.
Oh, wow.
So many times I'm listening to music with my phone out loud, and I open my iPod back in, the music will disappear, and I'd have to wait for 30 seconds until it comes back. So it's not bad. It's not really bad experience, but
Yeah,
it's
I
not
mean,
great.
I can see why that would be annoying. But I mean, yeah, to be Samsung, like, on an Apple product, I think it's not that bad. Like, considering the options you have.
Well, now that we are comparing a bit of the AirPods, why? Let's talk about some changes Apple introduced. Like as you said before, Apple introduced the active noise cancellation to the AirPods. Also, they've implemented something from the Samsung or from many other competitors, which are the ear tips. So, what do you think about that? Like, did you have any problem with the fit with your AirPods?
No, I've never had any problems. Like, as I said, like, I always use them. I haven't had any issues with it. They're comfortable to me. Like, they sometimes fall off when I'm, like, exercising, or I don't know, I'm moving around a lot, but it's not really inconvenient. Like, it just happens from time to time, but I mean, it's not a problem to me. I think they're comfortable. Yeah, I'm fine with them. Like, I wouldn't have to upgrade it having these, right? Maybe if I lost them or something, I would consider it, but I think it's too expensive for that.
Also, as you can, well, you know that the AirPods, the first version, they have a longer tip, right? On this one, they have a shorter one. Like it's shorter,
Oh, yeah.
the like thin part. What do you think about that design? Like, do you like it or?
I mean, I didn't even realize it, but yeah, I can see why they would do that. I mean, since you don't, like, they have those plugs now. I think it will be easier to use, and it wouldn't take up much space.
Hmm.
Yeah, they seem comfortable, but as you said, I wouldn't upgrade it. I wouldn't upgrade them if I don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned before about the fit, I actually read a lot of articles of people complaining that their ears are really either too small or too big for the AirPods. That's probably why a lot of people actually doesn't buy them because imagine you getting an AirPod, you put it into your ear, you walk 2 steps and your AirPod falls on the floor and it breaks. So I've heard of a lot of people of that happening either because that's too small for them or too big for them, and we're getting a new airport. Only one piece of them is actually quite expensive. If in Spain it's around €60 to get another one,
Yeah.
and with €60 you can nearly buy a new one, new pair of AirPods, a brand new one. So I think Apple sort of already like listened to the people and added that ear tip to help other people who have smaller ears and bigger ears to to buy and decide to buy the product. But actually, there's another function that Apple didn't want to tell the consumers, which is the earbuds actually helps you to have a better noise cancellation. Because if you think about it, actually, the silicone ear tip fills your inside of your ear, which means less noise will be coming in. Because the one before you were just like a plastic bud that fits into your ear where there's spaces, but with an ear tip, it actually fits into more deeper into your ear,
Oh yeah.
meaning that less sound will be coming in. So actually, I don't know how good is the active noise cancellation, but yeah, it does have a bit of help from the passive noise cancellation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, talking about the fit, like you would expect with that design to fit in better. Like honestly, like when I first saw them, I thought that with that design, there's no way it will ever fall off. That's my first thought that came through my mind.
I
Like
mean,
I think it's a better design, and after the complaints, I'm surprised that it falls off more often.
look, for example, in this article by Wired, it says some pros is sounds performance pretty well. Its design is pretty well. Good noise cancellation. It's comfortable that they say, and gym friendly. So we mentioned before that you use your AirPods, your normal AirPods for gym, and sometimes for. But remember that Apple said that our AirPods, the one we have right now, are not actually waterproof or sweat proof, but we'll still use it for the gym, and we sweat on them a lot. So I think now what they added is they added an IPX4, I think, so it's more gym proof and gym
Mm.
friendly because it fits better, it won't fall, and it's more water resistant. So probably more gym people will now use more AirPods than other earbuds. For example, the Powerbeats Pro. I mean, it's by the same company, but they're trying to steal the sales by the same company.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, I didn't even think about it. I've always just I'm pretty careless when I use my technology. Like sometimes I don't even clean it up and
Yeah,
I'm a
I can
mess.
see when
And
you lost your first pair of AirPods, I'll be like, oh,
that was tough. I mean, I'm pretty sure I only lost the AirPods, like not the case. So I'm pretty sure I still have a case laying around there.
I mean,
But
it's never bad to have an extra case lying around there. But also, look, it says here also that the AirPods Pro cannot manually adjust the noise activation. So, noise cancelling, I mean. So, if you're somewhere there, actually, you can't adjust how much noise you want to cancel out. So, maybe if you imagine you're walking on the street, right? And you're about to cross a road. So, if you didn't hear anything, actually might be dangerous. Okay, that's just a really hypothetical situation, but I mean,
yeah,
it can be pretty dangerous. But also, it says batteries can't be replaced. That was actually another concern that I had was about the battery life. I don't know about your AirPods, but right now my AirPods are like 2 years old and they barely last. They last around
yeah,
2 hours.
that's true.
And I mean, it's probably lithium battery, I think, so it gets wasted. And we have a big
Mm-hmm.
like the how do you call it, the long part of the earbud is pretty long. Now they reduced the size of it, so I don't know how much. It claims around 5 hours actually, I think, but we don't know. We'll have to test it out or read some reviews to know
Yeah.
how long it actually lasts.
Yeah, and talking about the noise cancellation, that is a big thing. The since you can adjust them, like in my case, I like to hear stuff around me. Like sometimes when I'm listening to music, I might get into a conversation or something. I wouldn't like to have to take my whole AirPods out just because I want to talk to somebody. Like I want to go on my way, have a short conversation, and keep having music on. So and sometimes even like for example when I'm playing video games, sometimes I even use them to listen to, for example, a podcast while I'm gaming. And I hate taking them off just because I want to talk with somebody for a short period of time. So I think I wouldn't like that noise cancellation in that situation. So that's why I would like, to me that's a deal breaker, not being able to like mess around with the noise cancellation options. That's a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, so look, remember what I mentioned before about the battery? So in this article, Wired, it says again that the battery is actually a little less than the old version. So actually, your Apple AirPods will last less than the previous one. You only have 4.5 hours of noise because, noise cancellation uses a lot of battery. Because the one before, you just music and that's it. So if you use this full volume and with active noise cancellation, your battery would drain so quick. So actually, I don't know if that's a benefit because if they include another function, I think they actually should include the battery capacity because people wanna be able to use the AirPods for a long period of time without worrying. Oh my God, my AirPod is gonna actually run out of battery. So I mean, they say that in like 5 minutes they can charge for like an hour of listening or talking time. I don't know if that's true. Maybe at the start it works pretty well, but with time we don't know. And also actually this time they included a lightning cable to Type C.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that.
So this lightning cable one end, the other end is Type C. I mean I found that a bit weird.
I think that's great because if they do that with the AirPods, that means they'll probably move on for future iPhones to have that same thing, the Type C technology. And I've heard, I'm pretty sure that compared to the Lightning cable, it has a way better capacity to like having more like the fast charging technology that the Android phones already have, and that way it would improve that on that part in iPhones. And I hope that they move that technology to that, because I've heard like on many YouTube reviews of the iPhone when they always come out with new iPhones, and I always hear the complaint that they don't change the lightning cable, and for them to change it on their AirPods must mean they will also do that in the future for iPhones.
Yeah, but I mean, now I think about it, it might be an advantage. I think the only reason they did it for it because the new MacBooks they only have a Lightning port, a Type C port. So they might be thinking, okay, you might use it with your laptop. So if you have a Type C port on your Mac and you have a Type C cable, you connect to your Mac. Then with the Lightning part, you connect it to your AirPods, so you can now charge it directly from your MacBook or from a place where you have Type C. But that's the thing. What happens in a situation where you have no Type C? You don't have a plug with the Type C. What are you gonna do then? I mean, it does have wireless charging, but iPhone doesn't offer wireless power share such as Samsung. So I don't know. Depends on the situation. That can be convenient or cannot be convenient. So there are many things that actually the Apple AirPods Pro are good at and bad at. In my opinion, actually, if they reduce the price a bit, down, like a bit lower, I might consider buying it. But as I'm using Samsung right now, I'm not gonna buy it. What about you?
Like now that I know more about the characteristics and everything, I think even if I lost again my first version of the AirPods, my second pair, I think I would still like buy again the same pair. I don't think I would get the newer version because other than it's more expensive, like some of the stuff like the noise cancellation, I'm not a big fan of overall. That's just a personal opinion. Um, but yeah, I think I would stick to the regular ones.
Okay, just if you don't want to buy it, this might be another idea to change. But probably you won't even buy it after telling you this. So it says that Apple actually changed the tap system. They removed it. The tap system doesn't exist anymore. Now it's called like squeeze command. So instead of tapping once or twice or three times, now it's squeezing. So because they're saying that because when you tap your ear, you look at like easier tapping just your ears. But squeezing looks like more like, just adjusting your earbuds, put it back well, but actually you're skipping the track or pausing the song. So like, how do you think about that?
I mean, yeah, I use that feature a lot, and that's one thing I actually like when they first came out and I started using them. I felt like there was so much potential of them for like making new commands, not only by tapping it, you know. I felt like there like since you can not only have like two options on both of the AirPods and like one side does one command and the other another. Like I feel like there could have been like I don't know, for example, instead of two taps, like three taps and do and yet another command, like make more options for more commands because I feel like I needed that. Like not only I didn't only want to like for example, I think I have on the left side to skip a track and on the right side to pause a track. So I would have preferred to have like maybe I don't know with three taps for example on the left side to turn the volume down and on the right side to turn it up. I think that would have been great, but since you can only have two options, I had to stick to my options because those were comfortable.
Mm.
But I think yeah, I've always thought that it had potential for that. And I'm not sure, do the new ones have like more options or is it all the same? Like you only have like two options to set it.
I don't know. It doesn't say further information about it, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know how actually the squeeze command is gonna work properly because it feels a bit weird just trying to squeeze your
Yeah.
like earbud inside your ear.
But it's will still probably be the same. It's just a different way of doing it.
Well, I think I have a good news for the Apple Watch consumers because it says here that if you have an Apple Watch, you can control the noise cancellation through your watch and control the audio. So now, before a lot of people complain that they wish they had some like type of touch control on the AirPod for the for the noise for the volume, so just volume on the actually on the AirPod. Now, I mean, Apple introduced it onto the Apple Watch, so you can control the amount of volume, adjust the volume on your AirPod, and control your noise cancellation transparency on your Apple Watch onto your AirPod.
Yeah.
So that's the benefit for them actually.
Yeah, I mean that's great and everything, but like I was saying, I feel like that should be already an option to do it like just with the simple AirPods, you know? You don't have to have an even extra Apple product just to do that. You should be able to like adjust the volume, skip the tracks, pause the tracks, do everything from the AirPods. I think that
Yeah,
is
but it's
easy to
Apple,
watch.
but it's
Yeah.
Apple, so Apple is like this. They always want to spend you more money. That's why they create the Apple ecosystem. So yeah, I mean, so my verdict is that the Apple AirPods Pro are actually pretty nice. If you have the money and you need it, go for it. If you're into Apple's ecosystem, if you're not into the Apple ecosystem, you still want a really good pair of it, go and buy the Sony Sony noise cancellation earbud is a really not name, like WH3000MX4, something like that. I don't know why Sony makes the name so hard, but those are really good noise cancellation earbuds compared to Apple's. So yeah, Ernest. Now moving on from the technology, I think we have a quote of the day, right?
Yes, we do. And it is act as if what you do makes a difference. It does, by William James.
Nice. So could you explain what does it mean?
Yeah, I mean, I personally picked this one because when I was going through it and we had to talk about something about a quote, uh, I really got into this one because I had a personal experience in which, like, I realized that a lot of people, ignorant people, think that by doing like small changes in your habits doesn't affect at all the world. And I'm a big believer in this that if you do something constantly, you can be a big part of a bigger change on the whole world. And the example I used that I was talking to Wei about is that when the whole trend about I'm pretty sure you've heard it about the whole plastic straws
Oh
use
yeah.
and that it contaminates a lot. I mean, I know like I started doing that. I started using even less straws, and when I was going outside to eat and stuff, I stopped using it them. But I mean, yeah, I know they're just straws, and there's a whole lot of different plastic. Even like the cups, like they're still made out of plastic, and they'll contaminate. But a small change like that can already make a big difference, you know. And yeah, I mean, by not using like the straws, you're already like if you start with the change, others will follow. That's like a big mentality.
Yeah, so like never let others make you like let others decide on what you have to do. Like keep on what you're doing and you'll make a difference. So like never surrender what you're doing. Never let other people tell you that it won't work and you just surrender because if you believe in something at the end the results will come back, right? So I mean, for example, with I don't know, with the global warming or with the vegetarian people that they say, oh yeah, only if you stop eating meat, it won't be changed. I mean, we don't know about that. We don't know if I don't know if more people start to be vegetarian, eat less meat because because one people started, one of the friends started, might influence another friend. It creates a domino effect, which means the meat industry will gain less money. But we never know about that because you never tried it. People always try to stop people doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I think people
You,
just should forget about people trying to stop them what they're doing and just carry on and believe what they're doing.
yeah, I mean, like people always, like a lot of ignorant people always say like, oh, okay, like, um, I mean, if I do like something like this, it won't change anything. Like, it's only, for example, it's only one piece of meat. Like, it's not the whole animal, you know? It won't make a big difference. Like, somebody else can stop eating that meat, not me. I'm gonna enjoy this. But I think that that's a personal sacrifice that everyone has to take. And, like, if you do it and you share your experience and yeah, as you said, it's a domino effect. Like everyone's gonna start realizing that it is making a big difference because by you not doing it, like somebody else is not doing it, and then yeah, that makes a big difference. People, yeah, as you said, the media industry is not as successful, and even scientists are gonna start like researching on finding new ways of satisfying by not using any kind of meat products, searching for alternatives, and yeah, it'll overall help the whole industry.
Yeah, also I think this quote can took from another perspective. So for example, like you can say that every act that someone does has an impact on someone else. Like let's say for example that one day morning, right? And your boss comes along, you're pretty sad because you didn't have a great night. Your boss comes along and the boss says, "Oh," gives you a smile or cheers you up, says something positive to you. So that's something the boss is doing, and that act has a great impact on you because it might cheer you up, it might change your mood, and makes a difference on you. So I think it says that every act from people makes a difference. So every single act from a person, from any person, can impact anybody. I don't know if you get what I mean. For example, I don't know, in a normal day, someone goes and smile by you, and you're like, oh my god, she or he smiled at me, and you might feel better, because you might think that no one cares about you, but actually, the people in the world that cares about you. So every single act has an impact on somebody. That's the positive side, but you still got a negative side. So sometimes you have to be careful what you do because something negative can impact someone pretty bad. Say something inappropriate in the inappropriate moment, so that can affect somebody pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point. That's yeah, I've been living under that philosophy for a long time. I believe like it was a long time ago. I'm pretty sure I was like I don't know, maybe 14 years old. And I don't know where I heard it, but I've probably heard it on a video or somewhere in the internet that I don't know if it was a talk about what you should if you should smile more or something like that, and I started doing that. Like I know at first it was weird. Like I was going around the streets like just trying to smile, and that was weird. But like as I started doing that, I felt more connected to people, and it was fun going out and making people smile. I felt like it bright. My whole day was better,
So
and I
yeah,
probably improved their day too.
yeah. Actually, there are some scientific research about that. So guys, just a small, simple act. Go out, smile, do some good things. It actually might make you feel good. Same time, making someone else feel good. Help someone, hold the door, up, open the door for someone. It will help you. Just a little act can make a great difference in your world. Not only affect you, but affect other people and how they feel. So I think that's what the quote wanted to say. So next day we'll have another quote and we're going to talk about the other quote.
Yeah, this will probably be a thing that we'll do every podcast. Just use a
Yeah.
random quote and talk about it for a couple of minutes.
So Ernest, so when we before talk about self, I think we forgot to mention that we're both basketball lovers.
Yeah, we're big NBA fans. We talk about it probably every day, and I'm pretty sure we both every day watch the highlights, even though we don't have the best time zone to watch
Yeah,
games.
unfortunately Spain doesn't have the best time to watch NBA games.
Yeah, if we wanted to watch a live game, we would probably have to stay up until like
3
3 in
a.m.
the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible.
So actually today I'm going to talk briefly about the NBA because this is just our first episode. I'm going to talk about something, a lot of stuff, something pretty general, and the next episode will actually focus on something special. So recently we've heard about if any basketball lover just currently listening because it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna inform you about some news in the NBA. If you wanna follow the NBA or if you really want us to talk about the NBA, you can support us, and actually we'll dedicate a special section just for the NBA news or news, and yeah. So So yesterday we had a historical moment, remember, between Luka Doncic and LeBron James.
Oh yeah, that was great. I mean, it's my. By the way, it's my Lakers. I always talk about the
Yeah, he's a
Lakers like
Lakers
if
fan.
it's my family, and yeah, I've always been a big fan. And so yeah, it was. I watched the whole game in the morning, and yeah, I'm a big Lakers fan, and I also started watching Luka Doncic play ever since before he became an NBA player, and I think he has a great potential. He's a great young kid. I think yeah he'll be something special in the league, and it was great to watch those two go at it.
Yeah, so for those who doesn't know what happened yesterday, or I mean, whenever we post this podcast, well, Lakers played Dallas Mavericks, and LeBron James and Luka Doncic, they made a historic night because there was the first triple double duels. So they played against each other. LeBron James had a triple double. Luka Doncic had another triple double with 30 points and 15 assists or more. So that was the first time this happened in NBA history, and it's LeBron James, the oldest player to do that, and Luka Doncic, the youngest players, he achieved that. So I mean, as Ernest said, Luka Doncic has a great potential, and many people sense it. He already won the Rookie of the Year. He proved to everyone that he has a great potential. And actually, a fun fact: in the school that we're right now, Luka Doncic was here before. He
Yeah.
studied in the school because our school has a deal with the Real Madrid players, and Luka Doncic actually played before for Real Madrid. So he was actually in our school and his school resident. So it feels pretty weird just knowing him. He was here like 2 years ago, and now he's in the NBA in the US winning millions of dollars
Yeah.
with the NBA stars.
And-
It feels like
And even like when I'm playing NBA 2K or I'm watching a game, like when I think about Luka, now the only thing I can think about, holy shit, he was here in this same school, in this same residence. It's crazy to me.
yeah. So I mean, so what's the following games that is coming up? Like in the following few days, let's see if there are actually any interesting games. Oh, okay. So actually, right now we're recording. Thunder is playing against Pelicans.
Oh, interesting.
Oh yeah, talking about Pelicans, what do you think about Zion Williams' injury?
Oh,
Zion
man,
Williamson.
I mean, that's tough. It's very interesting how they're gonna deal with that because Zion having such a big body.
It's massive.
Yeah, he's massive. For being that athletic, you can like, man, I'm really worried about him. Not only because of this injury. I mean, like, yeah, as I said, with his body and athleticism, it's scary to think about because like, with one simple fall after a dunk or whatever, a foul, I don't know, whatever, like he can easily get injured, with a bad fall.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
can
he's-
happen to everybody, and to him with that jump and that body, yeah, it's bound to be very dangerous.
Yeah, he already got injury in the knees because his knees can't support that weight. He's like 2 meters one, and his weight's like 170 kilos. That's like massive.
Yeah,
And plus his athleticism, how much he jumps, is just incredible. So I mean, I think New Orleans Pelican needs to make him lose weight, like just at least like 10 kilos of weight, because if they don't want Zion Wilson to carry on have injuries and to succeed and not be a burst, they need to make Zion Wilson way less because that's gonna affect, as you said, that's gonna affect so much the way he plays because the way he plays, as you said, is really athletic, and he jumps a lot. So every time when he's gonna jump and he lands, everyone's gonna be scared because if he lands bad, he's gonna get injured. And we are all hyped about him. He's so hyped right now, and yeah. So once you're so hyped about this, and if Zion Williamson, doesn't do well, it's a second big burst after I think Andrew Bennett or something like that.
yeah. I mean, talking about the bust, I think that's a thing we have to discuss. Like, if we talk about busts, I don't think we should be considering them like with injuries, Because since you're talking about Zion and him being injured and that affecting his career. I mean, if he stays like, because we already saw that he can provide to the team playing in the preseason, right? He was playing all right.
Yeah.
He was living up to his expectations, and if he gets injured, I mean that's out of his. Like, yeah, he can lose weight, but at the end of the day, it's an injury. Like, you can't help it.
True.
And yeah, I wouldn't consider that a bust if he ends up like getting injured time after time over his career.
Yeah. Actually, you have a point. But I mean, the injury does affect part of it because it's true. Many like players got injured after the injury. They're not the same. For example, we can see the case of Derrick Rose after so many injuries. Derrick Rose has changed, but actually, right now, Derrick Rose is playing at an excellent level. No one's expecting him to play. He changed his game. Now he's shooting more. He's been less explosive because his knees and his ligaments are not ready for those explosion moves. So
Yeah.
injuries can decide a lot on NBA player's career.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I was actually gonna talk about that. Like, if let's say, like, okay, Zion gets injured a lot over his career. Let's hope not.
Yeah, let's hope.
But it happens, right? Like, talking about the greats like Kobe, Jordan, LeBron, it has been the same case over those three guys. Like, it's the same. It's literally the same thing. Like Kobe, when he came to the league, he was a explosive, just athletic body, just go to the ring and dunk, and that's it. The same as LeBron, the same as Jordan, and over time, when they got, I mean, yeah, sometimes they got injured, they got older, and they evolved their games. That's why they were great. I mean, they evolved their games. They started shooting a lot, and with the example you brought up with their Rose, it's the same thing. Like, they all work harder and they're shooting their handles and not so much on the athletic, because that's the thing that will happen over time. You will get less athletic because of injuries, because you're getting old. I mean, that happens. So I think that's what stands between regular players and excellent players.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, well, let's not talk about injuries anymore because I don't like talking about NBA players and injuries because it's never good for for any fan to see an NBA player get injured. Even for
Yeah.
example, Stephen Curry right now. I'm a Warriors fan. Now right now, I'm devastated about Golden State because Clay, KD, Stephen Curry they got injured in less than 6 months, in 6 month range. But probably for someone who's not a Warriors fan, probably for you, you don't want to see Stephen Curry injured because
Never.
at the end you want to be competitive in
Yeah.
the league. So once it's not competitive, it's not fun anymore. So yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, like, me personally, when, like, a couple of years back, well, it wasn't that long ago, but when the Warriors were getting better and they got the super team and everything, they won the first championship, and yeah, they were first getting great. I was like hating on them. I like that's the first time I was actually hating a team, and I didn't. Yeah, I was really getting mad because they were beating my favorite teams, and they were doing great. And yeah, I mean, even after that, like, after all that, I mean, it died down. I mean, they lost on KD and on DeMarcus now. They still have great talent, but they got
it's
D'Angelo.
gonna be a tough year for them.
Yeah, but I mean, when I heard about the Clay news at first, it was, I mean, terrible. You always hate to see injuries happen, no matter who it is. And when I even remember, well, it was a couple of days ago, but when I saw the Curry injury, yeah, I was like really mad. And yeah, it's one of the players I hated on the past, but I still have a lot of respect for him, and I always hope the best for players to never get injured.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just feels bad, man. You
Yeah,
can't wish that on
it's never
anybody.
good on player get injured. You can have hate on the players, but never wish them to get injured. So let's move back to the rookies. So as we're talking about Zion, Zion's out for around 6 weeks, so 1 month, 2 weeks approximately. So right now, the NBA got the rookie ranking list out, and I was so surprised by this. So I think most people heard about Kendrick Nunn, the
That's
drafted player.
crazy.
I mean,
Undrafted.
he's 24 years
He
old,
already
but
broke the record for. I don't remember what exactly it
oh
was,
yeah,
but I think it was
about
like
Kevin.
points
Yeah,
scored
he didn't
in
break
a
it, but he's
certain.
1 point below Kevin Durant. So he's in the first 5 games he scored 112 points,
Yeah.
and the only player to do that was Kevin Durant, who was 113 points, and he wasn't drafted. 24 years old, first year in the NBA, so he counts a rookie. So he was in first place. Then we've got the Japanese player drafted by Washington Wizards, Rui Hachimura. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of highlights of him, so I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
me neither. I
Then we've
honestly.
got Ja Morant, which was supposed to be the second contender for the Rookie of the Year, but right now he's actually third. I mean, Memphis Grizzlies didn't have a good start in the first few
Yeah.
games.
I mean, yeah, I feel like maybe it won't be his year to like win Rookie of the Year or anything, but I think for each player it will be a process. Each will experience differently. Like I mean, yeah, maybe yeah, I could be like one of the top drafted players, but won't be very successful in the team that he's in, the organization, how his style is. But maybe he'll succeed later, you know. That's why they're young. They're there to develop. And Kendrick Nunn, I mean, he's natural. He's natural at it. Some
Yeah, I don't
people
even know
are,
where he came
always
out
are.
from.
Yeah, that's how it is. I mean, it'll always be like that. Some will be surprises, some disappointments, but that's what's special about the NBA.
So after Ja Morant, we've got RJ Barrett, drafted by the New York
Yeah.
Knicks. So I mean, the New York Knicks actually had it. They said that they won't be the losing team anymore. They don't want to be laughed at anyone anymore. So actually, they start pretty strong. The first few matches they did lose it, but actually they put a lot of fight into it. And RJ Barrett, I've seen few highlights from him. I mean, he did alright, but I don't think he's at the level that people expected him to be at. Same with Ja Morant. I mean, it's gonna be difficult for Ja Morant because, in Memphis Grizzlies, you don't have any other players who can go with him to help him how he plays, the way he plays. So until I think there's a player injured in Memphis Grizzlies, Joseph Nurkic,
Oh, is he?
or what's the
Wait.
other player? One
Ju-
play. Yeah, I think one player was.
Yusuf Nurkic, didn't he play for another team?
I mean,
And-
so a player got traded to. Um,
Portland, right? Trailblazers.
Wait, let me. So, Jonas Valanciunas. That's it. Sorry, no.
Oh yeah.
So I think when Jonas Valanciunas comes back, Ja Morant, Jonas Valanciunas can actually have a good chemistry between them if they play, because
Yeah,
with a center and a point guard, you can play a lot of pick and roll,
Mhm.
and Jonas Valanciunas is actually a good player.
Yeah, that'll be a great help.
But until then, it's gonna be difficult for Memphis Grizzlies to, especially in the Wild West, where the West is so crazy with all the teams.
Actually, what do you think about the Andre Iguodala situation? I mean, he's there stuck in Memphis, not even playing. They're expecting to trade him, but I don't see anything happening.
Actually, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know what Memphis' plan is. I mean, Memphis, what are you trying to do? Like, you're not finding any trades for him. No one's gonna want to trade for him right now. I mean, Lakers wants him, but I don't think Lakers will give you any other pieces for him. So at some point, you'd have to cut him. So why just cut him now and let him sign with the team. And as is, in my opinion, if Andrew Iguodala signs with Lakers, because the most rumors says that he's going to sign with Lakers have right now Clippers have a better chance for winning championship. But if Andrew Iguodala signs with the Lakers will have an even better chance because Andrew Iguodala and LeBron James already have that experience and that ingrained of winning championship recently. So with those three combined, with Andrew Iguodala's defense and Andrew Iguodala as a sixth man coming out of the bench, it's gonna help the Lakers a lot. But if Andrew Iguodala doesn't sign with the Lakers and signs with the Clippers, then the Clippers will become the next super team because with the defensive team that they have, it's gonna be so hard for the attackers to get in because you've got such a good perimeter defenders inside there. So all depends. Actually, the champion winner actually might depends on who Andrew Iguodala signs with.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, even though it hurts to say this, but I truly agree with you. Yeah, I mean, I do agree that the Clippers have great chemistry. They have a good defensive team. I mean, yeah, I just traded KCP for Iguodala.
KCP.
Yeah,
I've
please
seen so
just
much.
do that at the Lakers, please. I beg you. Yeah, I do agree. I mean, that veteran
Yeah, the good thing about
championship mentality, that's a great thing to have on your team, and that's very special.
the
I
good thing
think that's a
about
big
Clippers is that they maintain their core sort of. They still have their best
yeah.
six man duos like Patrick, Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell. They assure you 20 points minimum when they come off the bench. And you've got Paul George and we'll come back in a few weeks and Kawhi Leonard, which are playing at excellent levels. So
Yeah.
Clippers is actually really scary.
And you know what? I think another thing that should be very much talked about, it's who's behind all of this, and that's what's his name? Jerry West, right?
Oh, Jerry
The
West.
logo.
Oh yeah, Jerry
He
West.
is the GM for the Clippers. I mean, he's behind all of this. He knew to make the Paul George trade and sign Kawhi Leonard. He did all of that. He maintained that base with that core that you
With Lou
mentioned.
Williams and Montrezl
He even
Harrell.
stole Ivica Zubats from us with the worst trade possible.
Yeah, you got like Muscala for Zubac. That
he
was
stole it
a
from
really
us.
bad trade.
I mean, yeah, Jerry West, and I just remember that I was like, when I was interested in that and looked up Jerry West, he's been like, I'm pretty sure before going to the Clippers, he was with the Warriors. And that's why they succeeded, because they had that same, they kept that same young core. And when they were starting to do great, then KD joined in, then DeMarcus. I mean, that's why they made them great.
Yeah, Jerry West is a great GM. I mean,
it's crazy
Clippers
what
did
he
really
does.
well in this. I think Clippers came out winning a lot in this free agent summer.
Yeah, they really did.
Oh wow, let's move back to our list of the rookies power ranking. So after RJ Barrett, we've got Tyler Hero, another rookie from Miami Heat. He proved to us that he can play so well. I mean, he's playing really well. He's averaging around 16 points per game. And he just did an excellent match a few days ago with 29 points, something like that. Then we've got also Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
After 1 year without playing, he actually finally debuts this year. So what's your opinion about him, of his chances of winning Rookie of the Year?
I mean, I'm glad that you're talking about them both, because I think they are those type of players that the game just comes naturally to them. And I think there's a difference between skill and natural skill and the hard work and everything. But I think when you combine both, you can have really great players, and I think both of those have that in them. When I was watching Tyler Hero in college I rarely do that because I don't follow that much in college and everything. But I saw that he played very naturally, and that's what I love about a lot of players. And I think that's what makes them like good from the start. That's why a lot of rookies might not, even though like they might be top drafted or anything, they might not do very good at the in their first season because they're not used to that
Yeah,
level.
okay, yeah, I know what you mean. So they're not adapted how the
Yeah.
NBA is to. But so, like, for example, like Tyler Hero, like the first few matches he played, he already adapts it easily because
Yeah.
he has his basketball IQ. He's brain. He knows how to play well.
Yeah, that's
He knows how where to go, and like the basketball you see in his DNA.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean Michael Porter Jr. The thing is, I think in my opinion, it's gonna be difficult for him to win the Rookie of the Year because right now the Nuggets have really good players. I mean, they do have some stars, Nikola Jokic, but I mean all the players will release a score like 14 points or more per game,
Yeah.
and that will
Yeah, I
make Michael
mean,
Porter Jr. A bit difficult for him to develop because he won't have much minutes of Jamal Murray or other players.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's like, yeah, the Nuggets also have like their core.
Yeah.
Like they've kept the same players and they always do good. Like some might do better than others. They don't really have like a. I mean, yeah, they have like Nikola Jokic, which is like their star, but you never. When you talk about the Nuggets, you don't talk only about Nikola.
Yeah.
You talk about the whole team because
whole team.
everyone, like maybe someone has enough night, but another one goes off.
Yeah,
And that's
like
always the thing about them.
it's not like you see Los Angeles Lakers, you got LeBron and AD and that's it. But actually with the Nuggets, you say Nuggets, you think of all the players
Yeah.
because they always give the team something. If one, as you said, if one is off one night, the other player comes up and gives you points. So
Mm-hmm.
if Michael Porter Jr. Gets minutes, I think he might be one of the top contenders for the Rookie of the Year.
I don't agree with that because I don't think like I don't think they should be on the list. Like for example, Michael to win Rookie of the Year, or for example Nikola to win MVP, because I mean they're under that system. Like I think they're kind of like the Spurs, that they have like a team system that works and that's why they win. And I
With what you said, about the team stuff and they work as a team because once if you take one player out of them, the team system breaks down. They might struggle a bit to carry on their success that they were having before.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not taking away from them. Like I think they still are gonna do good, but not like I think under that thing I was talking about that they're like a team that okay.
He's struggling.
Okay, so they have like this team where they work as a whole, right? They don't have like a star. So like the people that vote for like who's gonna win the awards, right? They look for like a team that does good and a star player
of that
team that makes them good.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like I think Michael Porter will do great for the team and will put in his part in that team role, and that'll help them win. But I don't think he'll put up big numbers to surprise people and get votes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, because they work as a team. The stats of the individual players might drop down, but a lot of players will have nearly the same stats and high stats. It's gonna be difficult for Michael Porter Jr. But if he get his minutes and he proves people, he might be one of the top contenders, and that's my opinion. So I think that's all the rookies that appears on the list. So
one more, PJ Washington.
Pretty much, hell yeah. True.
I'm very interested in him. I think he's gonna be like maybe not even like a start in the future or anything, but I think he'll be a great asset that every team will want to have. And yeah, I see a lot of potential in him.
I haven't seen a lot of highlights from him, but from what I've heard, he's gonna be like a pretty, yeah, as you said, a pretty good asset. Like, that could change people team from deciding to for a trade pack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For maybe for Andrew Iguodala, you never know. So yeah. So well, I think that's it for today.
Yeah.
We talked about a lot of topic today. So well, I hope you guys you enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed it, leave a like and support us for any more podcasts. If you have any suggestions, just leave it down in the comments below, and we'll be listening to you. What you have to say, Ernest?
Well, thank you for watching
Or listening.
or listening.
Yeah,
Right.
because yeah. So stay tuned to the next episode and to the next episode's theme. I'll see you next time, guys.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Bye.